So here it is. It's the Decat and Miltek, how do you say it? Exhaust for my Megane. This Megane is not a great example of a Megane. I haven't had it long and I fixed loads of stuff on it already. The injector needed changing, and it was flashing the engine management light up, and the CD player and radio system was all over the place in the boot. I've just done the clutch, I've just done a drive shaft, I've done a full service on it. Obviously with the clutch change, it meant bleeding the system, which was a pain on these. To bleed the clutch, ideally you need to fill the clutch slave before you put it in the gearbox first, and that will help bleeding the system a lot, because otherwise air gets trapped, because the system isn't a loop like usual. It's a like linear, do you call it, system, where it's just from one end to the other, so air can get trapped in the end. But I didn't do that, and I've managed to fix it because I've used a syringe and a small piece of hose, so I filled it from the slave back up a few times, and I've also pulled some through as well. And the way you bleed that clutch, I know I'm going on a tangent, but it's helpful anyway, is there's a clip on the slave that you pull out halfway. It's a bit fiddly. I used a screwdriver and wiggled it out, and then you can then get a hose on it, so that means it's in like bleeding mode, and then you can then put a syringe on it and pull the fluid through. So it's a bit of annoying, but yeah. So I'm going to change this exhaust. I got a second-hand downpipe and exhaust. Apparently the downpipe's a real pain, and you need to either drop the subframe, or you need a certain spanner, a C spanner for some of the bolts. I don't know what's going on with my hat, it's really annoying me, sorry. So yeah, we'll find out what happens with that, but first off I'm going to jack it up and remove the driver side wheel and the driver side drive shaft, which means I'm going to drain the gearbox oil, and I'm just going to, because it's fresh, I'm just going to refill it with the same oil. It's easy to refill again. And then yeah, and then it's bonnet up, and then we'll start on unbolting bits and see how it goes. I'm imagining that the section of the exhaust where the flexi is that bolts onto the cat is going to be seized. So yeah, let's see what happens, and hopefully someone finds it useful. This is a 2005 Mark II 225 Megane. I've never had one before, but I've had a lot of Clios and a lot of old Japanese stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is it from the outside. So we will see how we get on. But this is just a walk around of what this car looks like. It's not ideal, it's not the best example. The bodywork's okay. Like I said, it just hasn't been looked after. The brakes are done, but I want to paint these. And the interior is fairly standard, so nothing interesting in there really. You have to excuse the rubbish because I'm currently sorting my garden out. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and hopefully someone will find it useful to know how to take the exhaust off, and also maybe sort of what underneath looks like before you get stuck into doing things like draft shafts and stuff. So yeah. So guys, I have taken the wheel off, I've taken the hub nut off. I'm going to pull the drive shaft out of the way. So I thought I'd make a start on the top here. I took these 10mm bolts off the heat shield, and then I used some sockets, 13mm on that one. That one was easiest. that one was the second most difficult, just down there. And it came off with the studs. Forgive my nail polish, it was Christmas and I had my daughters around. So that came off. Then of course the one from hell, which I've seen posts about, saying that you need a C spanner, just like this, but obviously C shape. But I got it off. Here's a little hack. Put it like this, get a ratchet, 13mm ratchet spanner, and push it on behind, right? Just behind, it will sit over the stud and go on behind there. And then what I did was I put this on the end down here, rested it on top and hammered it. Then I put it on top and hammered it down, and it undone. So then I took it off. So that's a good hack for you. I also used one of these to get the sensor off, which made it really easy. I can't remember what size it is. Is that 22mm with this slider on it, a lambda O2 sensor socket, and that came off really easy with that. So that's, again, if you want to do it and make life easier, get one of these. Okay, so I got this second-hand Miltek exhaust. It's a bit rougher on the edges, but I've managed to polish these up a bit, DIY bodge style, but they'll look fine. It's just some, you know, light scuffing and a couple of scratches, but I just did this. See this bodge job? T-cut on a sponge, on a drill. If it works, it's not stupid, basically. Even though I am stupid. But yeah, I think those will look good. Shame the Miltek sign's been rubbed off, but yeah, should look good. Next up with the car, I'm gonna get the old exhaust off.